So this is the video of the guy who has been trending since last week. His name is Ojo Eghosa Kingsley from Edo State. So First Bank mistakenly transferred 1.5 billion naira to his account. Instead of him to notify the bank and return the funds, he diverted the money for his personal use. These are his videos. This is his hotel actually. Ojo Kingsley Eghosa Raf Hotels in Edo State. So the guy runs a hotel. So he used the money to enrich himself. So he was arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Benin on 19 January 2026. He was arraigned before the Edo State High Court. He was charged with theft and fraud under Edo State Criminal Law 2022. Upon reading of the charges, he pleaded guilty without even wasting time. So his counsel pleaded for leniency, citing his expression of remorse. However, the court delivered the following: 1 year imprisonment or an option of a 5 million naira fine. The guy chose 1 year imprisonment, and in Nigeria, if you are sentenced for 1 year imprisonment, you are going to serve for 6 months. So he has now been sent to prison for 6 months. Now he has an order to refund the outstanding balance of 272,252,193 naira 59 kobo to First Bank. Now I don't know the criteria upon which or for which he will return the money. This has to do with the court. So, but before I go forward, this is what this guy had used the money to do. He used, I think maybe he bought some other hotels. He did a lot with the money, and that's why it's difficult for you to find someone that has integrity in this country. These pictures I just gathered. I've been looking for his footage. I said, does it mean that this guy doesn't have digital footprint? I found it. I found his Facebook account. So these are videos. If you take your time to watch this video, you see videos of him enjoying himself. Maybe I think he has like 3 or 4 buildings that he's already raising in Edo State with the money that is not his own. 1.5 billion naira was transferred to his account, and transfer limit for a day. I don't know, for a day or even for a month. I think for a day is 20 million. How was he able to move such huge amount of money from his account within a short period of time? That is what we don't understand. So this guy, Kingsley Ojo Eghosa, became very stubborn. When he was notified that the money was transferred wrongly to his account, he refused to report to the bank. So EFCc, in their own special way, used reversal process to recover 800 million naira. Let me read EFCc note. Edo court jails man for 1.5 billion naira fraud. The Benin Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCc) on Monday, January 19, 2026, secured the conviction and sentence of Ojo Eghosa Kingsley before Justice W. Aziegbemhin of Edo State High Court, sitting in Benin City. Kingsley was prosecuted by the Benin Zonal Directorate of the EFCc on a 1-count charge bordering on stealing by the Benin Zonal Directorate of the Commission. The convict, while being a customer of First Bank, fraudulently took possession of over 1.5 billion erroneously credited to his account by the bank. So it was a mistake from the bank, but you can't blame him. But then you need to return money that's not yours. The charge against him reads that you, Ojo Eghosa Kingsley, sometime between June 2025 to November 2025, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, did steal the aggregate sum of 1.5 billion, 1,502,102,182 naira to 24 kobo, property of First Bank PLC, by fraudulently converting the said sum to your own use, and thereby committed an offense contrary in EFCc using ChatGPT, probably contrary to section 387 subsection 1 of Criminal Code Law of Edo State, Edo State 2022, Edo State Law 2022, and punishable under section 394 of the same law. The defendant pleaded guilty to the charge when it was read to him, prompting the prosecution counsel M.S. Dahiru to pray the court to convict and sentence him accordingly. However, counsel to the defendant pleaded with the court to temper justice with mercy, stating that the defendant had become remorseful for his action. So the Justice Aziegbemhin convicted and sentenced Ojo Kingsley to 1 year imprisonment or a fine of 5 million naira. So he was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment or a fine of 5 million naira. So he chose 1 year imprisonment. The court ordered the convict to restitute First Bank PLC with a sum of 272,252,193 naira 59 kobo within a stipulated period of time, being the balance of the 1.5 billion naira. The stipulated period of time for him to refund the money was not stated, but I don't know. So the EFCc had, during investigation, recovered the sum of 802,420,000 from various bank accounts traced to the defendant, his mother and sister, which was handed over to the bank by the Benin Zonal Director of the Benin Zonal Directorate, Deputy Commander of the EFCc, DC Saad Hafi, on Monday, January 12, 2026, while other 300 million was recovered from the defendant account by the bank through transfer reversal. Aside the restitution, conviction and sentence, the defendant undertook in writing to be of good behavior going forward. So many people were saying that the guy is not refunding 200. Sometimes when you don't take time to get the real fact, you will run with the wrong information. The truth is, he's going to serve 1 year imprisonment and he's still going to refund the remaining balance. So what was flying online was that he's going for a jail term and then he will not refund the 270 something million naira that is left, 272 million naira that is left from the balance of the 1.5 billion naira that was wrongly transferred to his account. That's not true. So if such option was given to him, because what I believe prior to the time it took me to get the real information, I believe many of us believe that the court gave him two options: either to pay a fine of 5 million naira or to go to jail for stealing. But then the truth is, he could actually pay a fine and still refund the money. He is bound to refund the money, so he has two options: the fine of 5 million naira and not, so that he will not go to jail, or going to jail and still refund the money. He will pay the fine. If he chooses the option of paying the fine, he will pay the fine and still refund the remaining 272 million naira. But if he chooses to stay in prison, he will stay in prison and still refund the balance of 272 million naira. So that's the two things. So most of us are running with the wrong information, and I just read the conviction notes for you from EFCc and official page, themselves. So it means that the guy has been sentenced to 1 year imprisonment, and Nigeria, he's going to serve for 6 months. And when he comes out, according to EFCc, did not reveal the stipulated requirement or the stipulated period that he is required to refund the money or restitute the money to First Bank PLC. But I know it's going to be one that will be okay with First Bank and okay with EFCc and law enforcement agents. So to me, he just disgraced himself. The guy, based on his digital footprint, I've seen so far from his Facebook and all of that, he's doing well. He has a hotel. I just showed you his hotel in Benin City. That's his hotel, Raf Joe Hotel. So for someone to have a hotel means he's actually doing well. So why did he allow himself to? How do you allow himself to be messed up? Money is the root of all evil. The Bible we read says, money is the root of all evil. Even though he comes out, he's out finally. He has dented his image. No one will want to come to his hotel. No one want to engage in any business he's doing. You should have refunded the money. And in fact, if you have refunded the money, somehow the First Bank would have rewarded you. But nobody wants to, people in this country, I don't know what is wrong with some of us Nigerians. If you are refunded the money, you get some people that are telling, guy, you are not too sharp, you are not too wise, you should have done this, you have done it. Now he has done it. His name is all over everywhere. He unlocked his Facebook account, but I know I do investigative journalism. I was able to still get his footprint, no matter what you do. So it's a shame that we can't find people with integrity in Nigeria. Money that was transferred to your account is not yours. You start spending more than you earn. You start spending that money that is not yours. This is even worse than Yahoo.